Hello. Self-care. What is self-care? Self means what? You, right? You. Myself. Self-care. It's an act to take care of yourself. But you know, self-care is actually a conscious act. Many of us, we just think that, oh, self-care means a luxury. No. Self-care is a conscious act. You have to do it. You know why? In order to promote your own physical, mental, and emotional health. It is very, very important. So it's a conscious act. Conscious means you do it. You have to do it. It's not a luxury. It is important. So self-care जो है, it's vital. It's vital for building resilience for stress towards those stressors even. आप self care नहीं करेंगे तो आप अपने stressors को eliminate नहीं कर सकेंगे. Self care doesn't mean you are selfish. Okay, do not mix those two. Some people we often hear they say, हाँ जी जो selfish होते हैं बस वो ही self care कर सकते हैं. No, self care is important. Self care is not selfish. We all have to do it to promote for our own well-being. Okay, to promote our own mental health, our emotional health. Okay, we all can take it to some extent. और फिर stop आ जाता है, वहां पे आप boil होने लग जाते हैं, वहां पे आप exhaust हो जाते हैं. That's the time. Enough. So when you say enough, it means आपने पहले अपनी जो self care थी उसको neglect किया है. Unfortunately, many people view self care as a luxury. It's not. It's a priority. Do it as a priority. Do not think it's a luxury. Okay? You care for your mind, you care for your body, you care for your spirit. That's self-care. और एक और बात है कि one size fits all strategy is not self-care. Okay? अगर मैं कहूँ कि वो उसके लिए वो ऐसे self-care करता है, we all have our own needs and requirements. Okay, हर एक की situation different होती है. Never compare yourself to others. Never think that whatever is good for that person, it will also improve my condition. We all live in different circumstances. We all have different stressors. And sometimes the main thing, the main stressor, you know stressor, आपको याद होगा कि जो आपको stress cause करता है. Maybe that's a stressor for you, but on the other hand, that's a comfort for someone else. So you cannot compare yourself, or you can't compare your stressor, your self-care strategies with others. अब self-care कितने तरह की होती है? Physical, social, mental, spiritual, and emotional. So we start with physical self-care. Number one question, ask you yourself, okay? I'm asking you, but that is for yourself. You ask yourself, am I getting adequate sleep? Okay. Number two, is my diet fueling my body well? I have to answer this to myself, okay? And number three, are you taking charge of your health, or you are just taking it like normal and you are just ignoring it? Are you getting enough exercise? Me neither, honestly. Every day I plan it, और फिर मैं कुछ ना कुछ हो जाता है और मैं नहीं करती. So this is who you decide. I decide. We decide for ourselves how to maintain our physical self-care. Now let's go to social self-care. Social self-care is also different for many people. There are introverts and extroverts, but close connections and family relationships, उनको main karna is your social self-care. It doesn't mean that you spend all week with friends or you are available for. That's not social self-care. Social self-care is how much time do you spend with your friends. Are you getting enough face-to-face interaction with people you like? And that's it. You build relationships, and this is also, again, you decide your social self-care, but it is important. Okay, it's up to you if you do not like many people, or if you're comfortable with one or two, or with your family, but just spend some face-to-face time with them. Then the third one is mental health care. Mental self-care is very important. And how do we do that? Mental self-care, आप ऐसे करते हैं कि try not to think negative. That's your exercise. Like yesterday, I told you about reframing. Honestly, there are the same situations, but when people deal with different perspective, the situation changes for them. You can't change your stressor. Sometimes you can eliminate them from your life, but you have to change your perspective to look at them, view at them. So that's your mental health care. Exercise it. Exercise to think positively, or change the thinking. Like I told you, change the thinking means कि complaints की बजाय आप उनको words को even change कर दें, language को change कर दें. And in all the problems, in all your stresses, just think that, oh, I'm learning something. That's my experience for something in the future, okay, which I'll deal in the future. I'm learning from this mistake, or I'm learning from this problem. And always remember, you pray hard, but every problem you have today has a solution. You don't see it maybe today, but eventually you'll see that. So focus, rather to focus on the problems, try to focus on the solutions. That's your mental health. So try to think positive. We all get stressed. We all get anxious. At times we all get sad, angry. That's normal. But try to get out of it is your job. That's your mental health care. And then spiritual. I was actually reading a book yesterday, and it was mentioned in that कि जिन लोगों की spirituality, it's not about, I'm not talking about only religious point of view, but they say spiritual जिनकी connections strong होते हैं, they get less stressed. They get less problems in their lives. We all get problems, but उनकी self care ये है कि आप अपनी spirituality को भी थोड़ा सा बढ़ाएं. अपना नमाज अगर पढ़ते हैं, ये हम सब कहते हैं जी डिप्रेशन है, नमाज पढ़ो. अगर आपका कनेक्शन ही स्ट्रांग नहीं है तो आपको वो नमाज कुछ भी नहीं देती है, और फिर आप कहते हैं कि मुझे तो कोई आराम नहीं आया, मुझे सबने कहा कुरान पढ़ो, नमाज पढ़ो. That's up to you. और वो हर बंदे का एक अपना. तो नमाज पढ़ रहे हैं, तो नमाज आपको लगता है कि आपको थोड़ा सा उस वक्त जब नमाज फिनिश कर लेते हैं, तो जस्ट सिट ऑन द प्रेयर मैट और फिर थोड़ा सा सोचें, अपना कनेक्शन बनाएं. या आपको लगता है कि किसी अकेली जगह पे जाके बैठ के, तो वहां पे बैठ के सोचें कि what about your life, or how I am I'm doing in my life, and what is my connection to the creator. तो इस तरह आपकी spiritual self care है. Meditation is also spiritual self care part of. तो आप ये देखें कि आपको praying में आपको ज़्यादा लगता है कि आप जब अकेले अपने अल्लाह मियाँ से बात करें, अपने क्रिएटर से बात करें, वो चीज़ आपको ज़्यादा जो सुकून देती है. That's your spiritual self care. So do whatever do whatever is best for you, and do whatever works for you, right? So, and the next one is emotional self-care is very important. Emotional self-care is emotions, right? So the way you control your emotions while talking to your partner, while talking to your family member, while talking to your friends or a co-worker. So that is very important. Actually, they say all psychologists and the researchers, they say actually the situation is not as dangerous as your reaction towards it. So emotionally strong person usually, I was very emotional before, and I flared up easily. I flare up, and then if someone triggers me, तो मैं अपने emotions control नहीं होते. Now I have actually exercised it. I have practiced it, how to control my emotions when something is happening which I don't like, or something is trying to push my buttons. I control my emotions, and that's my one of the powers now. So when you control your emotions, others will stop pushing your buttons. So अपने emotions को control करना is your emotional self-care. Do not just react. Your reaction could change the results. Okay, so for your emotional self-care, and always think about, I'm controlling my emotions for myself, not for the others, right? So there will be people, there will be co-workers, your partners, your spouse, your friends, your children. There's always someone to challenge your emotional health, right? You are the one who has to control it. Okay, so your emotional self-care is very important. Change your way to react. Okay, and now I just want to say, please practice self-care, and self-care is very important for your well-being. Stay tuned for my next video, and bye for now.